Hey everybody, Bridget Lindalgoff, Conscious of Economics and Urban Farm Project. Look, my little wire's kind of frozen. All right, anyway, just a couple of things. I haven't really been doing a lot of social media because it takes me a long time to actually put it together because I don't have a computer. And so I'm dealing with, technology and just a lot of other stuff. And this summer was an exhausting summer, and I had to rehabilitate my elbow because I damaged it from the intense weeding that I had to do because of the water. It was shocking. I almost didn't make it. So by the time that October hit, I was exhausted, chronic exhaustion. So I started pounding herbs and building my immune system and sleeping, going to bed at 5. And getting up at the next morning, 6 or whatever. And then now, because it's so cold, I find that I stay awake a little bit later because it's so warm. I've got the wood stove cranking up. And so I just relax in my recliner after a brutal day. No. And then I go to bed, and then I sleep in till 8:30 or 9. And it's just been super dark, but I've really needed to do some serious hibernating. I've been putting out fires and just, just a lot, really a lot to deal with physically. But anyway, I've survived it, so that's good. So a couple things I wanted to talk about were the BTC and CBDC and the ETFs, all this stuff. And now Ethereum wants to do some type of ETF. Well, there was some weird stuff that was contradictory about kind of the approval and just some really interesting facts that I'm not going to talk about. But what I am going to say is that my Spidey senses say that Bitcoin is bad. Ethereum's probably second bad. CBDC bad. And these ETFs that are attached to these. Okay, so because banks, there's this huge surge in price in Bitcoin. Well, yeah, because the banks are getting ready to collapse and they've got to grab on to something else. Tarzan swinging through the jungle, they got to let go of that rope and grab on to something else. They're in savior needing to be saved. So whenever there's a savior involved, Bitcoin, ETF, blah, 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 yeah, you probably want to abandon that ship or you probably don't want to board that ship either. And so those are just my thoughts. Stay away from, my personal opinion, stay away from that stuff and let it fall apart. Because eventually, if we stop participating, what we want, what is beneficial and good for everything in a good way will come to pass. But we have to get through the choices first, the forest, to get to the end here. So hang in there. Second thing that I wanted to talk about was that, they cause all the weather, right? They took away all of the native and indigenous, stone weather controllers, and all of the, ancient technologies that balanced the whatever you want to call this place, but held the frequency to adjust, patterns of weather. So they're doing this whole, Arctic blast thing. And my Spidey senses, information that I am gleaning is that they have to do it because, if it's in the summertime and you're running your air conditioner, well, if you don't have power or whatever, or you don't want to pay the electricity prices, which most of them are using natural gas and coal and oil. And we know because of the bricks that we can't buy it anymore. Not only that, but the US dollar is like zero in the rest of the world. And if you do the math, and I hope this math is right, I'm super bad at math, and say the BRICS come out and say, OPEC BRICS, say, hey, it's $100 a barrel. Well, in their language, because each BRICS token is now back since, I think, November, so each dollar token is 1 gram of gold. Well, if you look on the market, what's 1 gram of gold? Like $67. So that means you have to times the 100 by 67 to get the price, what the price would be in gold backed. And that would be, what, $6,700? So the likelihood of us being able to get oil or buy it, because we're not really producing it in the United States, and we're not really getting a lot of, cargo in anymore, because guess what? We have a completely worthless, dead in the water currency. So what they have to do is, they've dumped all the reserves on. So once those are gone, it's gone. Like, no matter if you have the money, you're not going to be able to buy it. So they have to create something in order to get to the end of what their agenda is. And so this Arctic freeze and everything that's going on in the United States is perpetuating the rapidity of the usage of the electricity, which is the usage of natural gas and oil and coal. And then there won't be anything to replace it. So the freezing temperatures force you to use it more, because it's a big difference if, it's in the summer and it's hot. You can just open a window if you don't want to pay the exorbitant, electric bill, or if you don't have electricity. But in the winter time, a lot of people don't have a variety and are not diversified in, their levels of heat, like wood stove, pellet stove, choke. You have to plug it in. It needs electric, and the metal is not good enough to burn coal in or wood. It melts or, deforms. It's, which means that the metal also is probably pretty toxic under really, heavy heat conditions. Like a cast iron wood stove, you can do coal, corn cobs, wood, whatever you got. Not a big deal. So, and then you've got like maybe a secondary thing. Maybe you have some propane and you have those indoor heaters, that can help to heat your house, right, when you need them. Then, maybe, I just probably wouldn't use the kerosene heaters. Those things are deadly. Seriously, like the off-gassing could kill you. So you've got to figure out like what your, stages of evolution are going to be. Do you have enough sleeping bags? Do you have enough blankets? Do you have enough coats? Do you have enough hats? To be able to withstand, and also really protecting babies and children is going to be really important. And it's going to be exhausting, because it's easy to be warm, but it's tiresome to be cold. So you've also really got to work on dehydration, because cold temperatures can dehydrate you worse than summer heat conditions. So just some thoughts. So that's kind of like what I think is going on. That's what my Spidey Senses are telling me. And so hopefully it's helpful information. If it's not, that's fine too. Yeah, so hope all is well. And yeah, it's a cold day. I have lots of work to do today. So have a great day. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.